hello, welcome back to my channel if you are a returning viewer, and if you're seeing my face for the first time, hi, welcome. My name is Shan, I like to talk, and this is a safe space, so I hope you will subscribe and you will comment whenever you want to say something, and you will tell a friend, you know, all the niceties of YouTube and such. Now, before I get into this video, if you guys hear anything in the background, my sister has online school and she's very close to me, so I apologize for that. And I'm just coming to you all cozy today because I finally got the time to sit down and film this video. And you guys would not believe that I already filmed this video and the audio did not come up. Ah boy. But yeah, so that's why I have my earphone in right now. I'm very sorry for that, but I don't want to record this a third time. I was supposed to film this video in September, but you know, school, health, stress, whatever, I just didn't have the time. But now I am here and I want to give you guys 10 college study tips or just school study tips in general that I think would be very beneficial to you. If you guys have any tips at the end of this video that I didn't mention, feel free to comment it down below. I don't mind. We need to help each other out in this time, you know. Everybody's doing BBC College, Zoom University, you know, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, online school is just rough right now, and October is testing time, the mid-semesters and the exams and such. We need to be prepared. So yeah, let's get into my tips. My first tip is to make a friend in each course. Now I know this is hard because we're online, we're not seeing each other face to face, and everybody's behind a phone number right now or an email or whatever mode of communication you're using. But guys, it's very important that in each course that you do, that you make at least one friend. Ensure that there is somebody that you can turn to in case something happens with you. If there is an instance where your Wi-Fi cut or your light gone or you just can't attend the class that day, you need to be able to turn to somebody responsible and say, hey, do you have the notes that I missed? Can I get them? Or can you tell me what Miss or Sir did today? It's that accountability, having somebody there that you can turn to when you need that assistance, because no day is going to be perfect and technology can be your worst enemy sometimes. So yeah, make a friend, make 2 friends, make enough friends, but make sure you know somebody at least. Second tip is to download your course material early. Oh my gosh, do not wait until the last minute when the site crash and everybody a fight to get the one lecture or the one recording downloaded at the same time. From you know what course you're doing and you get accepted and it come up on the system, make sure you just go and download everything same time. Put it on your laptop, put it on your iPad, put it on your external hard drive, wherever it needs to go, but make sure you have your documents together. Very, very, very important. Tip 3, organize your files and documents into folders. Now that could be physical folders or it could be digital folders. But guys, organization is key, and this will be your saving grace during those hopefully rare moments when a lecturer or a tutor email you and tell you that they don't have no grade for XYZ assignment because you never submit it and blah blah blah. Now, we don't want that happening to anybody, so you need to be able to go onto your device or go in your folder and say, hey, I did this assignment on this date and here it is, and in case they need you to resend it, you can resend it and get your grade, because nobody is trying to get a 0 during this time. What are we? No zeros, none of that. Catch up on your recordings early, guys. Please make sure that you catch up on your recordings early. Now I know that it is hard because some of these lectures are 3 hours long and they are boring and they are miserable and the people chat enough. I know, but it is very important to stay on top of your game, because if the 3-4 recordings build up, by the time you need the information, you are not going to be able to sit down and spend your whole day watching 8 hours worth of lectures to get notes. It's better to just hit the nail on the head when you can and get them out of the way as soon as possible. It's easier said than done, but it's very, 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 very helpful in the long run. I think tip number 5 is incorporate assessing yourself. Now, it's one thing to read and it's one thing to attend your lecture, but when you can answer a question and say, yeah, I understand what is going on, that saves a lot of time. It's so much easier. So assess yourself during little increments. So when you're done topic 1, say, can I find a quiz on this, or can I answer a past paper question on that? And see where you are, because that will let you know if you should move on or if you need to revisit something. You don't want the night before the exam you realize, say, you're still confused about something all the way at topic 1, right? And then you're bothering people at 9, 10 o'clock in the night to explain XYZ to you, and I irritate people's son and people's daughter. Don't do it. Do not do it. Try and grasp it as early as possible. Now, tip number 6 is to highlight when you read and make notes. Now, a lot of courses are like math dense, so I understand that you won't be doing a lot of reading. But in the case where you're doing a lot of reading like myself, it is very important to get that highlighter and get that pen and make your notes, right? Because if you leave it up to your brain and say, oh, I'm going to read this one time and understand, you're going to be very disappointed. And it is much easier to find things that you need to revisit when you highlight them. If you're doing revision before the exam and you realize that there's something in topic 2 that you never fully understand or you don't remember, you can always go back and you will see that the main points are highlighted and you say, oh, okay, this is what I needed to know, or oh yes, it did say this right here, so for true, right? That is what we need in our lives. Ease. We need ease and we need just organization. Tip number 7. Now, this may not work for everybody, but I personally think it's the best way to go about it. I say focus in the lecture and write notes later. I started out this semester trying to write during the lecture because I was saying, wow, these courses are 2-3 hours long. I don't want to be rewatching this when I could be doing other things in my time. But guess what? When you're rushing to write down what the lecturer is saying, you realize that you're not hearing, you're not understanding, and sometimes you all write foolishness on the paper or the book that you're writing in. And we don't want that for us. We really don't. Because when you're studying and you go back in your book and you realize you write foolishness, that's one of the most frustrating things. Especially if you don't know that you write foolishness until the last minute. Imagine, last minute you realize that A plus B is not C? No ma'am.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Focus on the lecture. Just try and listen and make sure you grasp if it's even 80% of what is going on. And then in your own time, you can go and review and make the necessary notes that you need to make. Also, I'm a visual learner and I have OCD. So I cannot be writing my notes any sort of way. So I need the time to sit down, color code, draw this line, that underline, this note well, that, all of that. I need the time. I can't be doing that while the teacher is blabbing away. Tip number 8, I mentioned it a little earlier, but ask about your unclear areas. Your unclear areas from early. You do not want to be blowing up people's phone at inconvenient hours of the night, asking them to explain something that you learned in September and it is December. You do not want that, guys. You are not only being a nuisance, but you are also going to frustrate yourself because you're going to be worried about what you don't know and oh my gosh, I don't understand and I need to know it by this day and blah 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 blah, and it's just a mess for everybody involved. If you can, just ask from day one, whether you're gonna ask somebody you know or ask the lecturer or the tutor. Sir, miss, I don't understand this, can you explain? If they explain and you still don't understand, ask a classmate and they could probably make it clearer for you. but just make your life easier and get all of those road bumps out of the way from early. Tip number 9. If you are studying and you are a visual learner, I would say color code your notes. If you are an auditory learner, then I would say voice record yourself. Now, I find that I like to speak aloud when I'm studying. I speak as if I'm trying to explain the concepts to somebody who doesn't understand the topic at all. Like, it's the first time that I hear about it and I have to bring it down to layman's terms to get them to get it. That is how I prove to myself that I understand what is going on. If you want, you can use the voice recording option on your phone and just talk out the concept. Just pretend like you're talking to somebody, and when you play that back, you can listen to it and you can see if you were really making sense or if the topic is still unclear to you. Because sometimes we think we get something, we think like, ooh, tangle up here, we think we get it, but when it's supposed to come out here or it's supposed to come out here, mess all about. Fire hazard, do not come near, 6 feet away, mess. So we want to avoid that. And yeah, just if you're visual, make your notes attractive. If you're auditory, speak to yourself. Yes, this is the one time we're encouraging you to talk to yourself like nobody's watching. And my last tip would be take reasonable breaks, guys. Take breaks. This is a very hard time, guys, and you can't spend every single waking hour of your day staring at a screen. It's not gonna work. Mentally, you're gonna break down. Your eyes are going to hate you for it, and overall, you're just going to be frustrated. Take the time that you need to get up, go walk, go stretch, go drink some water, go eat some food. No, this is not Netflix time. Unless you have great self-control, then you can watch like one episode of a show and jump back. But try to limit the distractions that you have during your break time, because the break is supposed to be a refreshing period so that you can jump back into the task that you are doing. So when you take your break, breathe, meditate, do what you need to do, and then say, yeah, back at it again. In my Casey Fennell voice. So that's the end of the video. Those are my 10. Clearly I need a math course. Those are my 10 study tips, guys. I hope they helped somebody. If you have any study tips that you find particularly useful, drop them in the comments, because UE is not giving out 1 degree. UTech is not giving out 1 degree. UCC is not giving out 1 degree. We need to help each other out. Everybody can win, and we're all paying way too much money to be failing these courses, right? So yeah, help each other out, guys. Drop your tips in the comments, drop your thoughts in the comments. If some of these tips work for you, if they didn't, let me know. And I will see you in the next video, whenever that will be. Please don't crucify me, school, and mash up my life. Bye.